They got this video, and of course, not just this video, but it's been a ongoing issue where Black Americans have been telling Latinos and in particular Mexicans, say, hey, bruh, you can't be saying the N-word like that. I mean, I know y'all have your own words, but you can't say that. So you have this guy that's asking a Mexican guy, and he's Mexican himself, but he's hiding his face. I don't know why. About Mexicans saying the N-word. And I want you to hear what this guy has to say.
How you feel about Mexicans whenever they say the word low-key?
I think, it's valid.
Why do you think that is valid for Mexicans to say?
I don't know. We're the same, we're family, bro.
You think that we're the same as black folks?
Nah, I think we're better.
Whoa, shoot. Why you say we're better?
Because we are, bro.
Wait, why though? You gotta elaborate a little bit. Just a little bit.
Because, bro, we're Mexicans, bro.
Okay.
We're the bro. Are we not?
First of all, let's just start up front. And I always have to put out these disclaimers. I just have to, no matter what I talk about. I just have to do this. This guy represents himself. He doesn't represent the greater Mexican community. Even if some people do agree with him within his community, he does not represent all of them in the United States or Mexico or anywhere else. They may be that have their own particular opinion. Okay, so I want to put out this disclaimer. Now let's get to him. Sir, how are you going to say that we are the same? And you should be able to say the N-word, but in the next breath, you say you're better. Well, by that particular conversation you just had, that means we will be equally better. It doesn't mean you're better. Now, when a man was trying to ask you, why are you better? You could not really answer that question because they were just foolish pride talking. And if somebody's going to say they're better, then you should be able to not only stand on it, you should be able to list 10 things why you are so-called better. You're not better than nobody, because let's call it what it is. We're not the same. We're not the same. You have your homeland and all the stuff that go on in your homeland, and a lot of people in your homeland came here, and your particular family came here, fled here. And how are you going to look down upon Black Americans when if it wouldn't been for Black Americans, you couldn't be here because they didn't want Mexicans here, any other Latinos here. They didn't want any Asians. They didn't want no Arabs. They for sure didn't want nobody from the diaspora here. These white people only wanted white people from Europe coming here to this country. And it wouldn't been for the fight of Black Americans in this country with the civil rights movement and the immigration laws and all that has changed due to the fight of Black Americans, he couldn't be in this country claiming that he is better. I'm going to say this much. We already know he's not better, but people that are truly quote unquote better, they never tell you that. You know why? Because they are confident in who they are. They know who they are, and their life is going to be evident of what they are. So they don't have to walk around telling you something, right? People with money don't even try to flash money. They try to hide it. Matter of fact, people with real wealth, they call it like quiet luxury. That's what they call it. They try to wear brands that nobody know about. A lot of people who have money, for instance, I'm just making a point. They'll rather go shop at Target. They'll rather go get just a Honda Accord, even though they can afford a Bugatti. Why? They don't want you to know anything. So when people actually have something, they're trying to hide it. So when you are actually better, then you don't have to broadcast it because people will say, man, that guy, what he got going on? And what's interesting with people like him that speak that way, you say, oh, we outwork everybody. We do this and that and the third. Here's the thing. Black Americans have worked for free for 250 years. We was doing convict leasing, of course, not getting paid. Sharecropping, gotten biggest scam, didn't get paid. So Black Americans is over not being paid what they're worth, okay? Hence to why, because they couldn't do us that no more, they bring in your family to come in and do the work the black man and woman say they didn't want to do anymore. So let's think about it, sir. When your family came in, what did they go do? Farm work. They did a lot of general contracting work, landscaping, a lot of that kind of work that Black Americans used to do. Cleaning houses, being nannies and maids and all that in these white people homes. When we stopped doing it, that's when they really pushed to bring your family over, okay, to do those jobs because Black people didn't want to do them anymore. And if Black people want to do them, we'll be paid for it. You understand what I'm saying? So even statistically, sir, your community isn't paid what they should be getting paid. So how are you better when you statistically not getting the money you should be getting? You're not better. In the situation with the N-word, that's why Black Americans, this is the great thing about delineation, because Black Americans say, no, you're not going to be running around here, because that's disrespectful. Listen, what we say to each other is one thing, and that's a different conversation. But other groups, you can't say that. No. And it should never be allowed, and it should be called out, and the people who's doing it should be ridiculed and given that a Black American treatment that we give people, period. They have their own words and their culture to say to each other. Okay? They do. What words do they say in their culture? They call each other fool. They call each other essay. They call each other vato and anything else they have. Use those words. That's of your culture. That's it. You don't see Black Americans running around here calling each other those names that you normally call yourself. Now you may say, well, it's more Chicano culture. Okay, it's still part of your culture. Use that. Nah, I'm sorry. If put it like this: if white folks can't say it in front of me, nobody can. Ain't nobody cool with me like that. No. Why? Because I respect my culture. I respect my lineage. That's why. And we not cool like that. I don't even like Black people talking to me like that. Just be honest with you, I don't. But if I'm going to accept that language, I accept it from a Black person. I'm not going to accept it from you. Matter of fact, I don't even like Africans saying it. And they from the diaspora, I don't like it. Because like there's one guy, and I told this story many times before. I was in Johannesburg, South Africa. This dude was talking to me, and he was saying the N-word. And I said, oh, whoa. Why are you saying that? I said, you're not from America. Why are you saying that? He said, oh, man, we say it all the time out here. I'm like, I just told him to his face. It don't even sound right the way you saying it because of that accent. I told him to his face. I'm sorry. I had to tell you that. Because, bro, like, you're not impressing me by saying the N-word to me, bro. I don't look at that word as just something great. I just don't. I got a name. You can call me brother. You can call me king. You can call me whatever you want to call me. My name that my mama gave me and daddy gave me. But yeah, don't call me all that, because I ain't that. But when it comes to this young gentleman here, he be the main one crying to Black Americans why we won't come out and protest with him. Well, you saying that word is part of the reason why Black Americans aren't coming out and protest with you. Listen, we're not going to go out there and protest with white people. Why we go out there and protest with you, and you got those kind of opinions and saying that about Black folk? And I've heard Mexicans go in on other Mexicans about saying that word. I heard the videos. So that's why I made sure to make my disclaimer. But nah, bro. Like, nah, it's a new day. We calling out everybody's getting called out. It don't matter if they in the diaspora or not. You're not gonna be running around here talking down on our culture, saying you better and all this other stuff. Because the thing is, if you're better, you'll be better in your homeland. You will not be even. And notice they always got to compare themselves to us. Everybody does it. They got to measure who they are and what they do based off of us. It lets you know what they really think about us. Listen, you don't measure yourself from people that you think you're better than. You don't measure yourself off of people who's the lowest common denominator to you. When people measure themselves, they measure it with the people they look up to. And see, your mouth saying you're better, but your action and your heart say, I'm trying to strive to be like Black America. So much so, I want to say their words. I want to copy their style. I want to listen to their kind of music. I want their even position. But out of my mouth, I'm going to say, oh, I'm better. You can't be better, because you surely